What's going on, Bud Mashers? I'm Mr. Gamer.
And I'm Kitty Duvall.
And welcome to SBRReports episode 62. Did Bowsette make bank? TellTale's lawsuit and Sony getting with the times.
Man, this feels good to be back in my chair.
Right? So, how was it? How was you, getting over your happiness of Isabel being in Smash? Is that because we know that's who you're going to main now, so you totally have a reason to get the game now, right? Right?
Sure, honey. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play Smash now. I'm more waiting for Animal Crossing 2019 to happen.
But you're gonna be getting Smash first, though.
There's like 20 jokes in there, and we don't have time for this, Mr. Gamer.
Okay, we'll settle it in Smash.
You know what these Swiss soccer fans need to do?
Okay. So, my God. All
Maybe
right.
they need to play Smash.
All right. So, I posted I posted just a little thing on my Facebook page.
Hashtag go to Facebook and follow us.
Start button. Facebook.com/start button review. But I found it really interesting that Swiss soccer fans who really don't like eSports decided to toss tennis balls. But more importantly, PS4 controllers, which are on average about $50, unless they just found some at a thrift store or something like that. So it turns out that though people are loving professional esports, fans of two Swiss soccer teams, Young Boys and Basel, protested the rise of esports during a game, hurling tennis balls. Oh, okay. You toss tennis balls at a soccer game. Okay, whatever. And video game console controllers, as reported by Engadget, actually being PS4 controllers. Young Boys doesn't have an associated esports team, but Basel does. Now, I'm not quite sure what was... I really don't understand what the point of all this was. I mean, I know that here in Chicago, they've got like some hotels protesting, and they're just being loud, but they're not throwing things into the hotel. So
also, they're protesting, fair wages versus being angry that people want profit.
Yeah, like that people want, yay, I really like esports. Esports is really popular. I don't think it is. I'm going to throw tennis balls and expensive controllers in anger. Almost like you not liking what a company does, so you burn the product that you already paid money for.
Man, did you have to bring that up?
Because it is relevant.
It's like, that's not how you do it. Like, you don't... Y'all really need to just...
Let's hope that first of all, I'm glad that nobody was hurt, but let's hope that whoever the people who think that it's a good idea to throw tennis balls and controllers in protest at a game that doesn't really have anything to do with esports in itself is a good idea. Next story we're going to be going into is the part of it goes into what's been happening with Telltale Games, but they aren't the only major game studio that's been closing within the past 12 months. Unfortunately, we've had to say goodbye to quite a few. Visceral Studios, games they made Dead Space and Battlefield Hardline. They were gone October 17th last year. Motiga, they made a video game Gigantic. They were gone November 3rd last year. Runic, that made Torchlight and Hob. Also November 3rd, 2017. Gazillion Entertainment had to say goodbye, and they made Marvel Heroes. I actually do remember that game. The Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency, that's quite a bit to put on the title card. They were gone February 28th of this year. They made Drawn to Death and, unfortunately, One Unknown Project. Boss Key Productions, they were gone May 14th of last year, and this year, thank you. They made Radical Heights and Lawbreakers, and I do remember the boom of Lawbreakers, and then it just phased out of existence. No one was talking about it, and I want to say that it was partly overshadowed by, because I know there was arguments between Battleborn and Overwatch, and I think Lawbreakers just came at a really unfortunate time where it just couldn't get the publicity that it needed to really get up there, and nowadays it's free to play. I actually know that A friend of ours, Cheech 2099, he actually was able to get into the beta for Lawbreakers, but once again, nothing really happened from it. Wargaming Seattle, they were gone May 24th of this year. They made games, the Supreme Commander and Dungeon Siege. Carbine Studios, they closed September 7th of this year. They made a game Wildstar. Capcom Vancouver, they closed September 18th of this year, and they made Dead Rising. And I'm not too fond of Capcom for a variety of reasons, not to the EA's level. But I actually like the Dead Rising games before Dead Rising 4. Dead Rising 4 on the PC is somewhere along the lines of hot garbage and wearing socks with sandals and stepping into mud.
Socks with Crocs.
Socks with Crocs. All right.
And then, of course, the Telltale games. Is it bad the entire time you're listening to this off? I'm just hearing In the Arms of an Angel. And you know the people make the bad graphic tees. Oh, man. Oh, God.
But it seems as if things aren't done with Telltale games.
I mean, other than the fact that, like, there's a lot of unopened ending as far as their game goes, the Walking Dead thing, they're also getting a civil lawsuit thrown at them by their ex-employees because they did a huge no-no when a big business does something.
So, for those of you unaware, there is something called the WARN Act, or the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act of 1988. And in a nutshell, what that means is that companies that have 100 or more employers have to provide a 60 calendar day advance notification of plant or company closings and mass layoffs of employees.
That are it has to be more than 50 employees to get that. They have to do that 60-day warning.
And unfortunately, that did not happen. Now, we don't have a whole lot of details about it, but what I can tell you is that I'm pretty sure they're feeling the pain.
Yeah, they laid off 275 people. And the person spearheading this lawsuit and for everybody's on everybody's behalf is Vernie Roberts. He was just pretty much like, this kind of sort of really blows because people are losing their health insurance. And let's face it, in this country, health insurance is a big deal. People are
this
losing
economy.
their service packages. People who have just pretty much been there, and it's like, oh, yay, I have job security. I love my job. All 275 of them now don't have a job.
Gooses.
So I don't blame them for wanting to do this because that's kind of left field. That does not give you any chance
to try to pick yourself up and make sure that you have something to go to at the end of it. And you would think that, video game company as big as Telltale Games was, you'd have a certain level of security with it. But unfortunately, that turned out not to be the case. But going on to something that is a little bit better. For those of you who can remember, a long time ago, back when the Switch was still in its infancy, Reggie mentioned that we would not be getting anything like the virtual console that we have in the Wii and Wii U eShop onto the Switch. But it seems as if somebody decided to try and go through the JSON, which basically means the JavaScript code that is on the Nintendo Switch's eShop, and find out that there will be something similar to the virtual console that's going to be on the eShop. And I really feel like Nintendo has just been giving us so many good things, but not giving them to us at the frequency that we want, that we have to go into your metadata and like really, really dig, because you're not telling us what we want when we want it. So we're gonna, because we know you got it, and we won't find it.
Wow, that just makes all Nintendo fans sound like impatient, entitled, spoiled brats.
Not all of us, or we can just be very concerned, investigative consumers. There could be that too, Mr. Ball.
Okay, it's the way you said this, Mr. Gamer. You sounded like an entitled brat.
I am not an entitled brat. I just know exactly what I want, and I want it now.
That's like, oh God, I can't stand you.
Moving on. Now, obviously, I guess I gotta wait till Mr. Ball is finished over there, laughing her head off.
Oh, you're cute when you're in denial.
So, we were gonna have to talk about this. You saw it in the title.
No, I am not cosplaying it.
What? Okay, I guess we just had to put that out there too. But we do have to talk about Bowsette. More specifically, the impact that Bowsette has had, not on the fandom, not on Japan, which by the way, still trending in Japan as of this recording. But we have to talk about the important thing, Nintendo's stock. Now, there was a picture that was posted on Twitter by a user, Atlas1, that noticed that Nintendo stock went up from 44.64 to 46.61. Now, it is a significant increase because of the timing of when the first comic of Bowsette was released. For those that haven't seen the comic, I'll be sure to include that on my website. But essentially, it is the ending scene where, by the way, slight spoiler warning. My apologies.
It's a really short comment. You are about to explain the whole thing.
I am trying to make sure that I do it with enough information for those who haven't seen it. Why are you giving me such a hard time? Anywho, so essentially, ending of Super Mario Odyssey happens. Peach says that she's going to go off to do her own thing after Mario and Bowser give their own piranha flowers and fire flowers to Peach. And then Bowser, having the super crown for some strange reason, decides to put it on, and then Mario and Bowsette then are going off and doing their own thing. And this blew up.
And for those that don't know, the Power Crown is from the newest Mario and Luigi Super Brothers game that's going to be coming out.
Yep.
Where you get to play as Toadette, and that's her special power up. Where once he puts it on, she turns into Bowsette, which is she's pretty much a carbon copy of Peach with pigtails and stuff. It's actually really adorable.
And then they being the internet and artists all around, took that and just let it go. Now, personally, I believe I'm waiting kind of for the firecracker to go out. I don't really know how long this is going to last.
It's the internet.
But all memes eventually. I mean, okay, you couldn't get away from Salt Bay. Eventually, Salt Bay fizzled. This will fizzle, but I'm concerned because it's nonstop. I can't go on Facebook. I can't go on Twitter. I can't go on Imager without seeing Bowsette. Now, mind you, I am definitely liking the art of Bowsette. It's wonderful. I am also seeing some people who I follow for their cosplay do Bowsette, and it's looking really nice. But going back to the story, I really don't think that the stock went up because of some fan art in the community. What it's more so having to do with is the Nintendo Direct, and then also the subscription service that was still released. And I will say, though it was hacked, it was still mildly had some success. Mm-hmm. Now, it has since dropped since its initial rise, but to say that someone drew some fan art of Nintendo and then Nintendo stock went up, I'm not really sure that their shareholders necessarily care about some art and, let's just say, some lewd art as well, because let's just face it.
Y'all are nasty.
It exists.
I'm
just going to say that it exists.
No, it's the internet. We're adults. We can say it.
Yeah, it's
Okay, I made the mistake of opening my Tumblr. And that was the first thing I saw, and I was at my day job. And my boss was in the room. I was about to throw my phone in the freezer.
Yeah, I'm glad you did it. That's a pretty expensive phone.
I was about to throw holy water on my stuff.
Now, another thing to note is that there is a YouTube there is a YouTube video out there where you can make your own custom Bowsette amiibo if you so choose. Now, also noting you're really just going to be reskinning a Peach amiibo, but it's not bad. I gotta say, it's really interesting what the Nintendo fandom will come up when you give them a little bit of inspiration, wouldn't you say?
That crown was a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, I do remember a picture where Bowser, Mario, and Peach were like, this crown has done too much evil, and they throw it in the lava, and then boom, lava princess. Because reasons.
All of that that makes sense. You have little flaming live fireballs.
You do. They are sentient and can be captured in Super Mario Odyssey, so why not?
Jesus. The Chain Chomp ones that's been scaring me.
And we also have Boo and Goombas
you
and
know what?
Thwomps.
Let's stop talking about this. I already know.
Then what happens when you put a power crown on top of a power crown?
Dude,
a super crown?
Dude.
Okay.
Dude,
sorry. I couldn't help myself.
Look.
It's the internet.
Jesus is judging you. And in turn judging me because you're technically my boss.
Technically. Now, we get to finally... I am so excited. I am actually really excited to cover this.
So I put my sunglasses on because of all the shade you about to throw?
Oh my goodness. We will eclipse the sun.
Oh boy, let's go.
So, finally, after... I guess they really just finally pulled their thumb out of their butt. Sony is now releasing crossplay with Fortnite. Now, it's really interesting the timing on it, because you would think they would have responded sooner, because I am, just me personally, I'm concerned just how popular how long that popularity is going to be able to plateau. I don't see it necessarily getting any higher unless we get some huge a huge worldwide event again.
I mean, it's pretty much up there already, and it's going to probably stay up there until the next big thing happens, because they have deals with cell phones.
True.
But Samsung, we both own it.
Well, I know, but did you get the V-Bucks or did you get the headphones?
Now, do I look like the type of person that would play Fortnite?
You could try. You might be really good. You could be a regular savant at Fortnite and just not know it.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to Animal Crossing when it finally gets released.
But anyway, Nintendo. It's interesting that. So I'm okay. Looping back around. Microsoft finally had a nice little short response about it, just simply saying that we're happy that it's that they're finally doing that. Another developer, Rocket League Studio Psyonix, chimed in stating that they're really happy that Sony is allowing crossplay for Fortnite and that it's a nice step forward. And he is hoping that crossplay with Rocket League would also work. Now, once again, that's gonna be another battle, because we obviously know Sony. I don't know why I just got Nintendo on the brain. I blame Bowsette. That Sony is not going to let all their guard down. Though they did make quite a bit of money with the new Spider-Man, though. So there's that. They definitely did that. Now, right now, Epic is working on an account merging feature that will allow players to combine their purchases. That should launch in November.
Okay, because that was going to be my next question, because it still has microtransactions in it. Right.
Now, what's going to happen? Essentially, you will have to bring the things together, because what you did on the PS4 won't go over to what you had been doing on the Switch and Microsoft. But man, don't you remember way back in the day, Mr. Duvall, when Sony wanted to teach us all about how to share video games? Remember that?
Oh, this is how you share a video game.
Shares. I am. This has been
It's like, it's like they were making fun of Microsoft all those years ago, saying, "Oh, you guys are just being brats," only to become the brat.
You become what you hate the most. I'm pretty sure that that's a quote that someone famous has said.
So when am I going to become rich?
It must not be what you really want, Mr. Ball. You must not want it that badly. Like you gotta wait for it.
But it is cool to see Sony doing this now. They're probably coming to the, I'm not going to say the tail end of the hype, but they did it at a time where a bunch of people probably already bought their Switches and stuff because, screw Sony. We're just going to play on this thing now.
Oh, man. I just thought about that, too. You know what? The one thing that is coming up, and I know it because I saw a Christmas tree in Costco already. When the holiday season comes up. Just thought about that.
I mean, they might be making some extra money, but like I said again, they probably missed out on a huge opportunity because they decided to throw this hissy fit saying, "No, we're not going to do this, and we're not going to do this." And so
because we have the best place to play.
So everybody else is like, "Okay, screw you. We're just going to play it at all these other things." And now they want to. Now they're going, "Oh wait, no, you guys are being for real. Wait, no, come back." And now it's just kind of like,
Now we covered everything that I wanted to cover. As far as our stories, but I did kind of have something that's just been really nagging at the back of my head. So on Twitter and Facebook, be sure to follow me. I posed the question: if you could pay to have a particular part of a video game played for you, would you? And I say this, and I had gotten one response, one simply saying that. If I could no longer have to do the grind, yes, I would pay for that to end. Another comment that I had on my Twitter was that, well, what are difficulties for hard, normal, and expert? If you could just pay to go through the game, what's the point in difficulty levels? And I really did wanted to pose that question. Let me ask you, Mr. Vol. For example, let's just say Animal Crossing. Let's just say that you start your game, and let's just say with the GameCube version, you have a house, and then you just, instead of owing your life to Tom Nook / the Mafia, you would pay...
The Red Panda Mafia.
You would pay, let's just say, $5. $5 equals 10,000 bells. And then, if the house is 50,000 bells... So you would just have to pay $25 to have, apologize if that math is incorrect, you would have to pay just $25 and your debt is instantly paid.
Okay, one that sounds like microtransactions.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. Do you know why I bring this up?
Why?
Because the new Devil May Cry game has the ability where you can purchase red orbs, which you normally get by exploration or stylishly killing a monster. You can instead just pay for the red orbs, which provide upgrades for your character.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm way too broke for that even to be an option for me.
Okay,
even
no,
if I
that's
wanted
fair.
To, because especially if it's on a home console and stuff like that. Because like I said, with Pocket Camp, it makes sense. It's hard to grind to get the Leaf tickets because you can't grind to get the Leaf tickets. But if it's just for bells and stuff, I'm not paying money for that. I will just go sell my fruit, stake the trees, do the little jobs Tom Nook tells me to do, pretty much be a slave to all these animals, and then pay off my house only to be back in more debt because Tom Nook forces me to expand my house. And
I can understand that.
Happens, by the way. And
I can definitely understand that where I can't afford that right now, or I don't have that sort of disposable income.
Because at the end of the day, that's how they make their money with microtransaction. Is people with disposable income. That's not for people who don't have disposable income and are likes to grind. That's for people who do have the disposable income to just toss out and go, oh, $25, I'm out of debt. Cool. I wish I could do this in the real world.
Now, my next question to you is this. are the introductions, and this is a question I'm just putting out there. Are the additions of microtransactions in single player games that aren't mobile video games, do you think that it is growing at an unnecessary rate? And let me give my stance already. I think it is a significantly greedy way to get money. And let me explain to you why. The argument always is that you have a choice. You don't have to do it. But if the creator of the video game artificially creates a choice for you, whether you can either grind or you can make it all go away if you do this, but you make the grind so difficult.
You know what? I think, yeah, I get that.
Like, and that's my problem with that. You tell me that I have a choice, but if you program the game in such a way where you make the other option really difficult, then is it truly a choice?
It's like you have a choice, but you're gonna pick this choice because we want you to pick that choice. It's
like we're gonna make it to where
coercion. I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, coercion. I guess a more aggressive form of temptation. Because you can make it all go away.
Aggressively promoting.
Right. Like,
aggressive promotion.
It's like you can replay mission 26 and that'll give you this much, or just simply pay us $2.99 right now and you can just get all the orbs you'll need and then some.
I'm aggressively suggesting that you have a choice, but you don't really have a choice. See, and that's the thing. I wouldn't care about all these microtransactions if it was still balanced. That's all I care about.
And there's the thing. It's not. It really isn't. It's just a real sticking point for me because the method, the free to play model that I'm seeing on my mobile games, where my mobile games are free, mind you, these are 60, sometimes more, depending on where you are in the world. Sometimes these games are like $60, $70, and then microtransactions. And I'm not talking microtransactions in the form of DLC. I'm talking about, hey, here's some upgrade points, here's some money, here's a fatality token, something like that, where goodbye difficulty, just, hey, you don't like this, pay to make it go away. Pay more money for the game that you already paid to hopefully enjoy and complete. Pay more money to make that easier.
Man, now you got me worried about what Animal Crossing is going to be looking like next year.
I really do hoping that Nintendo doesn't follow that model, but you see where I'm coming from.
I mean, Nintendo's starting to follow other models, so.
Well, yes, but you can, but they can do that, and we'll give them the exact same level of criticism, and we'll criticize them on how they deliver it.
Don't tape my Animal Crossing. I love Animal Crossing.
But and sorry if I just like kind of tacked that at the end, but this was just really something that was just like I don't like this, because Devil May Cry did it. Like, in the event that they do make another Ratchet and Clank game, am I going to be able to pay to get a special item where, like, boom, I get to get all my gold bolts? Or it's like, oh, hey, you want the new Pyrocitor? And instead of earning the bolts, which could be like, I'm just throwing out a number, 5 million bolts, just pay $3.99 and you can get it right now. And by the way, the boss of this particular planet is really weak to the Pyrocitor. Like, and it's not really a choice.
Are these like the participation trophies now?
I wouldn't necessarily say.
Is that what these microtransactions are?
I can't say they're participation trophies, because participation trophies is something that you get by just doing. What I would say is it's the model where you can just make it go away with money.
So this is your dad getting you that job that you know you have no business having.
Yeah, no experience. You have no experience, and mind you, I am not blank when I make this statement. I'm not saying all gamers, but that particular gamer doesn't have enough skill, nor does he or she wants to put in the effort to do it, and they have the ability and the money to pay to make the problem, the difficulty, the grind, or whatever go away, so they will.
See, I just do the thing where I hand the controller over to either you or someone else that I know if I just can't get past, especially platformers, God help me. And I just go, okay, get me past this level, then give it back. Thank you.
But I fear
that's my microtransaction.
But I fear that that's the direction that we're going in. Let me know. Like, hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook, please. If you think I'm just full of hot air, or it's just not really a big deal, or anything like that, or hey, this is really bothering you. This is really a problem. But definitely let me know wherever it is that you're listening, however it is that you get that. Hit me up on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, what have you.
Oh, and also please leave reviews.
Yeah, please. Thank you. It's only going to help grow the show, and I'm only going to get better if people tell me how good and or bad I am. So once again, thank you for all of that. And with that being said, I'm Mr. Gamer.
And I'm Kitty Duvall.
Signing off.